I don't know about you, but I am ready for some different kind of muffins. And don't worry, they still taste good, look good, and hit the spot. But they're special. So in today's episode, I'll share with you how to make a healthier and better tasting muffin with a very interesting and unexpected ingredient. Let's begin. If you've seen any of my other videos and you decided to come back for more, then I assume that you are finding some value in them. If that's the case, please bless me with your kindness by subscribing to the channel, as it helps me grow and become better. In return, I promise to bring you higher value content each time. Thank you very much. The ingredients you'll need for this recipe are 400 milliliters or 2 cups of buttermilk, 200 grams or 3 cups of wheat bran, but you can use any type of grain bran, not just wheat, 2 eggs, 2 vials of vanilla essence, 100 milliliters or 5 ounces of cooking oil, 250 grams or 1 cup of brown sugar, 250 grams or 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 100 grams of powdered sugar. For the tools we will need muffin trays or muffin cups, depending on how many recipes you want to make, a whisk, a pastry brush to oil the trays, a large metal spoon to load into the trays, and 3 large bowls to mix ingredients into. Now let's begin the prep stage. So, in a large bowl, add the bran and buttermilk and mix well with the whisk until the buttermilk is fully absorbed by the bran. Now let it rest for 5 minutes so the bran blooms, or at least that's what Grandma used to call it. While this happens, in a separate bowl mix the cooking oil, any type will do, with the brown sugar, the vanilla essence, and the 2 eggs. Use the whisk again and beat all the ingredients together until the sugar has melted. If you have a hand mixer, then you can save yourself some arm pain. But if you want to build chef forearms, then keep on mixing until you feel the burn and you'll have bigger arms than Arnold in the 80s. However you decide to do this, just try to get as much of the sugar dissolved in order to achieve a superior finished product. Then in the third bowl, add the flour and the last 3 ingredients. I'm using a sifter here to make sure that the powders won't clump together and affect in a negative way the muffins. By that I mean that I don't want to bite into a clump of baking soda or baking powder later when I'm enjoying them and curse the time I spent in the kitchen preparing them. Then using a whisk again, mix them well until they become as incorporated as the global powers that rule every aspect of our lives. If you followed along, now you should have 3 large bowls sitting on your workspace. So, to the bran bowl, add the contents of the brown sugar and oil bowl. The whisk will help here, but the silicone spatula would be the perfect tool even if I didn't incorporate it in the tool section. Sorry about that. Then mix all these new ingredients together until they become one. By the time you finish this recipe, your arms will be fit and buff, so smash that like button because you're getting a workout as well as a delicious muffin recipe out of this video.
Thanks.
When you're done liking and subscribing, add the flour mix to the main bowl and again mix them together until you reach that special homogenized unity, aka a thick paste. This can take a bit and it may become quite dense, but if your whisk can do the job like mine, then using that metal spoon from the beginning will help you get that last mix finalized. When you're done here, let this batter rest for 5 minutes, time in which we will preheat our oven to 190 degrees Celsius or 375 Fahrenheit. While the oven gets hot, we will oil our muffin trays with a bit of cooking oil and that silicone brush. Nothing fancy here, just make sure that the inside of each cup is lubricated so that the muffins cook well and won't stick. I have made the mistake in the past where I took this step very lightly and I ended up with muffins that didn't want to get out of the mold, especially without being teared apart. A sad but true story. Still, after you've oiled the trays, fill each cup 3/4 of the way with the batter. You may want to fill them to the brink, but know that they will grow once in the oven, and if you overdo it now, you will end up with mutated muffins that will not be or look appetizing at all. Trust me, 3/4 of the way is the way to go. By now the oven is ready, so put your muffins in it and cook them for 15 minutes. This should be the perfect time for the temperature, but in case our ovens differ, at the 15-minute mark, put a toothpick into the middle of a muffin, and if the pick comes out dry, then you're good and your muffins are cooked. But if it comes out wet or with a bit of batter clinging to it, then give it 5 more minutes in the oven. Mine were cooked perfect at 15 minutes and I was very excited to munch on them. But not yet, because it is indicated and a good practice to let them rest in the pan for 5 minutes so they come out easily. This happens because of the condensation that occurs between the muffin, which is very hot, and the outside walls of the tray, which are cooler or closer to the room temperature. Some would call it muffin sweat.
But not me. I'm not gonna do that.
After 5 minutes, they just pop out of the tray, and personally, I put them on a rack to cool off even more before I dive deep into eating them. Also, this is the moment when I usually sprinkle them with powdered sugar. Not too hot and not too cold. That's just right for the powdered sugar to attach to them and make them fantastically delicious. They are so pretty, and trust me, the smell is great as well. In many ways, they are the perfect vehicle for any type of topping that you desire or can imagine. You like chocolate? Then it works great with it. How about peanut butter, jams, jellies, buttercreams, glaze, and anything else you can imagine? They are a great dessert, snack, or experience to share with your loved ones. And yes, please share them because they deserve to be enjoyed by many. Same like this video, which I hope you liked and found useful. Thank you very much for visiting me today, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. This shows me your appreciation and that you enjoy my work and wish to follow it every week. With that being said, I wish you all the best and I will see you next time. Bye bye.